Hello everybody, today's a very exciting day. As you can see, I'm wearing the Drop X THX Panda t-shirt, and you know what that means. It means I am not doing a review of the headphones, because mine were defective. I ordered mine originally back in April and got a cool $20 off the original asking price, and a t-shirt, which I am currently wearing. It's comfy. It fits perfectly on me. T-shirt's cool. The problem came with the headphones. If I had them connected to more than one device, they would periodically stop outputting audio altogether from one device, meaning they would just stop switching like they're supposed to. This could be a Windows compatibility thing, but I don't think so because it would do it on my phone as well. Then there were issues with it crackling over Bluetooth on my phone, which I did notice slightly on the WH-1000XM3s that I currently have and use every day, but for whatever reason it was just worse on the Drop Pandas, which I think could be a result of maybe the LDAC codec messing up, because that's what I use on the WH-1000XM3s as well. But then it would just randomly drop out at times, and there were certain speech frequencies that it would amplify and just make it sound genuinely awful, and certain high frequency sounds would, I don't know, it's almost like an electric buzzing. Speaking of electric buzzing, there was a constant, irremovable electric buzz in the left ear for about 2 minutes while it warmed up. And they say this is normal, but the problem is they say it's normal wirelessly. They say that's just the headphones detecting Bluetooth noise. And you know, the WH-1000XM3s aren't exempt from this either. Woohoo! Honda Civic, bro! And you know, the WH-1000XM3s aren't exempt from this either. They have it too, but to a much lesser degree. Like, instead of having to actually listen for it, it was audible easily. And that was a huge disappointment for me, especially since instead of just being over Bluetooth, if I connected it to my computer via USB-C, I was still able to hear it. Granted, it was quieter, which meant I got a defective pair. Now, I've seen plenty of other posts about the constant noise in one ear, and there was one guy who just had the microphone mesh straight up fall off of his unit during shipping. But as far as I can tell, I am one of a specific number of people that got a genuinely defective unit, and it fucking sucks because I was so excited for them. In fact, I bought the WH-1000XM3s as just an interim because they were a good deal. They were $120 off on Amazon. I can't turn that up. By the way, just as a side tangent, if you don't care about multi-device Bluetooth support, fucking get these. They're like $200 on Amazon versus $350 for the WH-1000XM4s. Like, they are a crazy deal, and in some cases, noise canceling can be even better. So, what I can say is that in terms of comfort, the headband has not been improved as much as they said it has. It still leaves a hot spot, so you definitely want to make sure that it's touching your head the least amount possible. Make sure it's mostly relying on the ear cups instead of on the headband. Also, in terms of weight, they have a lot of metal in them, which makes them feel premium as all hell, but also makes them heavy as all hell, which kind of sucks because that greatly reduces comfort. However, after a bit of fiddling, I could get them to be comfortably on my head for long periods of time. Those long periods were spent troubleshooting, of course, which is not a very good experience, but what can you do? So in terms of sound staging and headphone temperature, I do think that these are a bit on the cooler side in comparison to standard consumer headphones. In comparison to something like, I don't know, maybe a pair of Sennheiser headphones, they would definitely be warmer than just pure neutral. But if you're a bass head, you probably won't be happy with these unless them being defective changed their sound signature, which I don't think it did all too much, but it's something to keep in mind. From what I was able to actually hear while they were behaving themselves, I could hear that they were very, very flat. And that's not a bad thing if the songs are mixed well. But for things like Joji in particular, he tends to, I don't know if it's him or his producer, they tend to actually lower the bass a little bit, which means it sounds a bit weak on these particular headphones, whereas on something like the, again, WH-1000 XM3s, they sound nice and punchy, they're nice punchy bass notes, and it's overall a very warm sounding style of music. However, listening to other lo-fi style hip-hop, I was able to get plenty of bass, and they sounded crisp, clear, and extremely fucking detailed. Like, that's something that I can undeniably say that drop pandas have is detail. Like, it's hard to describe, but instead of a, say, click in a song sounding just like a snare, sort of, it sounds like a fucking click. It's the difference between a Nintendo D-pad and a mushy off-brand D-pad, if that makes any sense. It's just so much more snappy and satisfying. Plus, the separation of instruments was just amazing. I can't put it any other way. Now, let's talk about the whole shipping clusterfuck. As I said, I ordered mine in April. I bought the June tier on Indiegogo. I received mine late August, and it took about a week and a half for support to reach back to me. However, it's not entirely their fault because I reached out to the wrong email. I reached out to Drop directly instead of their Indiegogo campaign email. So if you did order on Indiegogo and you're having problems with yours, contact the Indiegogo email, not Drop support directly. But yes, I got them a whole 2 months late, and they said it was because of COVID. However, I'm not sure how true that is because Drop is pretty infamous for their poor shipping. There were production delays with the driver materials, and now there are still people that paid the full $400 price on the Drop page before they switched over to Indiegogo, and that's a whole other issue. But if you're international, there are plenty of people that still haven't received their units, and that kind of sucks. So if you're in some countries in Europe or in Asia, you might have issues getting yours on time, or maybe even in general. So that is something to keep in mind if you're planning on getting these. Also, current orders are expected to ship in November. Everything else got pushed back at least 2 months. Like July orders, I think, are in October right now, and holidays are coming up. So if you were to order a pair of these today, I would probably expect a 2021 ship date. So with all that pessimism in mind, I will do a more in-depth review once I have a functional unit. But for now, t-shirt's pretty cool. Ear cups are way thicker on the actual unit though. So that's a little weird, but t-shirt's comfy.